Sunday night. What do you mean, oh, geez, you didn't like it?
Dude, I feel like, like I said, and I can, everybody in the chat room probably is going to be happy that I'm saying this because they always say I'm a WWE hater, but that was probably easily the worst Slammiversary of all time, dude.
Really?
I just thought personally that the card was terrible going in.
Terrible?
I did. That's what I thought, bro. It didn't feature any King of the Mountain match.
Okay, when you put this on paper, okay, Kurt Angle versus Frankie Kazarian.
Oh, that was the match of the night.
Okay. What about? Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but Brother Ray versus Jesse Neal. Okay, you've got the teacher, so obviously they know how to work with each other. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it delivered. I thought it was all right. Matt Morgan versus whatever.
Yeah, that wasn't nothing.
AJ Styles versus Jay Lethal.
I thought that was the second best match of the night.
Jeff Hardy and Mr. Anderson versus Beer Money.
Dude, and that match I thought was average. I thought maybe it was just slightly better than TV quality.
All right. You know what? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll run it down. Top to bottom. I was impressed. I thought it was pretty good. I thought, for the exception of the ending, basically what happened, the crowd died, man. After the knockouts angle that they did with Madison Rayne and Roxy. Poor Roxy, too. We haven't talked about her. Jesus, man.
She got screwed.
She's got screwed more than once with that company.
After I seen it, when they came up with when Madison Rayne goes, put your career on the line, most people, I bet you, thought that, Roxy would win the championship. I knew that Roxy was done with TNA right then and there, dude.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, she was crying, man. She was crying before and after the match. You could see when Madison Rayne cut that promo. Well, let's go right in order, man. We kicked it off with a really hot opener, and maybe this is part of the reason why the crowd died halfway through the show.
Oh, yeah, because I think, like I said, I think that was their best match. You put your best match number one,
Right. Well, that crowd was super hot, man. When they opened that pay-per-view, they were fucking crazy. And then, so Kurt Angle versus Frankie Kazarian opens. Angle won clean with an ankle lock. There was, Jesus, man, there was near fall after near fall after near fall towards the end.
So many suplexes and great counters in that match, too.
Oh, yeah, Angle did what? I think he did 2 German suplexes, and then he did 4 at another time.
Belly-to-belly suplex off the top rope.
Yeah, just a really, really, really good match to open the show. It's kind of weird to see Kurt Angle as the curtain jerker, but
I know, right? But geez, he paved the way for the show, and like I said, dude, we got a different opinion. I just don't think they delivered for what he, brought out.
But you know what? Here's the deal. Dixie Carter came out and basically promised all these surprises, blah 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 blah, and I think people really expected going into Slammiversary. I think a lot of people really expected this huge surprise, whether it was Paul Heyman, whether it was ECW, whether it was Shawn. Dixie never said on her Twitter account. She said that there'd be a nice surprise at the Slammiversary pay-per-view, and then major changes, which are going to happen backstage. I believe it involves the creative team. And then there's talk of we'll talk about the pay-per-view thing as well, where, I've got exclusive news on that for later, but Spike TV is interested in doing live specials, and TNA pay-per-views are only drawing
less than 100,000, right?
About 15,000, 10 to 15,000.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, that's worse than I even thought.
Yeah, for pay-per-view buy rates, it's between 10 and 15,000, which is not good. And when you break it all down, when you break it all down, we may see, I don't know if it'll be Sunday night pay-per-views or Sunday night free telecast on Spike TV, but they want to do something because pay-per-view buy rates are
money.
Oh, pay-per-view buy rates are horrible.
You gotta figure, obviously it's not Spike, so Spike isn't paying them like they do for Impact or anything, so really nobody's paying TNA for that, and I know they give over 50% of the revenue goes to pay-per-view companies.
Oh, yeah. Dish Network and Time Warner and all that stuff, man. They take a cut out of pay-per-views, and if you're not drawing, it's part of the reason Ring of Honor, Ring of Honor used to do, they didn't do many, but they used to have semi-pay-per-views where you'd be able to pay $10 or whatever it was, and now we've got internet pay-per-views with them, you know what I mean? So they've gone a completely different route, and I think TNA, hopefully not, man, because if that happens, never mind. Well, for websites and website traffic, you depend on pay-per-views to make money.
Oh,
a lot of
sure.
a lot of your income comes from pay-per-view nights, but nobody cares about that. All right, so Kurt Angle opened us up, like we said. Angle won clean. Great match, man. Cool thing they did here is they shot in the arena, and you had Taz and Mike Tenay on commentary, and basically Taz thanked everybody that was there from the start. Guys like AJ Styles, Jerry Lynn, Mike Tenay, obviously. James Storm has been there. Jeff Jarrett as well, founder, obviously. Who else? Abyss.
Abyss.
Don West has been there.
Is Wolf?
Desmond Wolf? No.
Wolf? No, oh, you're right.
No. Desmond Wolf, he went to WWE and basically
that's right. What the hell?
didn't pass a physical, and yeah, that was just a complete mess. All right,
Samoa Joe?
Samoa, yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joe's been there from the start. Yep. Yeah, no doubt, you're right. All right, so Douglas Williams versus Brian Kendrick, another match on paper. A lot of people don't know about this Douglas Williams, but he is one of the top stars to come out of the UK. And Brian Kendrick, we all know what he's capable of. So they did a match for the X Division title. The storyline here is Douglas Williams on Impact. He's an X Division wrestler. He's X Division champion, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he retained. And basically the deal is he doesn't like the high-flying moves and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So they did the match. Right, they did the match, and then he hit he went to the top rope and did what was it, like a tornado?
Tornado DDT, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, and basically the storyline is, Douglas Williams, he's totally against these high-flying moves, but yet he retained the title at Slammiversary by using one of them, you know what I mean?
Well, they made him look pretty strong, though. I mean, he pretty much had control of the match from beginning to end, pretty much.
Right. Yeah. Another really good match, man. I mean, the first two matches to open that pay-per-view were very, very good. Very well.
The only thing that really is, like, with that second match, I thought it was a pretty solid, X Division match and everything, but it kind of left me wanting a little bit more. I mean, I realized that, the bottom of the card, you're supposed to only get, like, 6 to 12 minutes, dude, but I mean, I'd like to see those matches go, between 15 and 20 minutes like they used to be like 5 years ago, because really, if you think about it, like some of the top of the card matches, like Sting and RVD, isn't really too, didn't really provide too much.
Yeah, and then that dead crowd too.
I know.
And the crowd just they fell apart. They did what was that? Well, there was a backstage segment with Eric Bischoff, basically called Sting selfish. Then we had Madison Rayne versus Roxy. I guess we'll talk about the Roxy situation here. She arrived earlier in the day on Sunday and was informed that she was no longer needed with the I mean, that's basically the gist
terrible,
of it,
dude.
So, well, they had just brought her back.
They pretty much just used her as a stopgap.
They had just brought her back, man. I mean, okay, you had, who is it, Angelina Love and Daphne are out with injuries, right? And then you bring her, you bring her back, it's just, God, if I were her, I don't know. Yeah, what are you gonna say? I mean, if they call you again, what are you gonna say? Fuck you. She needs a job,
That's very true, but I don't know. I mean, this isn't like the first time this happened to her either.
Right? No. It's happened many times before, man. And the sad part about it is, she's one of the best knockout workers. I mean, she's one of the best in the division.
Well, that's just like a couple weeks ago they wanted. Weren't they going to release Hamada?
Right.
And she's one of the best workers there too. But I mean, what I was gonna say though is, pretty much with Roxy, I just feel like obviously she was visibly upset, and they could have just handled that whole situation a lot better.
Let me ask people in the chat room, guys. We've got our live chat room right now. It's WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. Let me ask you guys. I said, I don't know if you guys remember this, but months ago, when Matt Boone was here, I always told him there's something about Roxy, man. There's something about she's banging, man. She's hot. You know what I mean? There's something about her. And maybe it was the thing where, she shaved her head, so whatever, you couldn't really tell. I'm telling you, man, now that she's got hair back, she's hot. Roxy's hot. No?
I don't know, man. I don't know. She's not, I don't know. I mean, she's fine, but, like, when you put her next to Velvet Sky or Madison Rayne, dude, I mean, I think Madison Rayne and Velvet Sky.
She's hot, man. I'll tell you what, man, I got something for Roxy. People in the chat room says I'd bang her. Yeah, I mean, most of you guys in the chat room agree, right? Now, she's no Velvet Sky, obviously, but shit, she's hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think she's hot.
I'd tap her. People in the chat room, guys are pricks.
I wanted to ask you, when was the last time you seen a knockout busted open? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, she got